G'day guys, it's Rob from the Global Society, and I'm here with Ezra Bowen, formerly from Griffith University, so now out in the wild world of work. And we're actually here at the Student Mobility Forum, our National Student Mobility Forum, talking about everything to do with education abroad. And Ezra has been one of our keynote speakers this afternoon, which has been awesome. And mate, you've had some interesting experiences, which we'll talk about. But maybe we start by talking about what you're doing now. So what are you actually working on these days?
Okay, so I work for Boeing as an electrical engineer. Funnily enough, I'm not on an aeroplane platform. I'm developing the next generation communication suite for the Australian Defence Force.
Interesting.
But I'm an electrical engineer and I work in power management systems and power distribution, power generation. Part-time as well. I'm also a consultant electrical engineer for a company called RFL Alternators, where I develop generators with unique properties.
And that was a fascinating part of your story. How did you end up doing this consulting work?
So when I was in Spain, which is I done my exchange program, I wrote my honours thesis. You write a thesis, you write papers. This company called RFL Alternators got hold of one of my theses and they asked if I wanted to do some consulting work for them. So,
wow, that's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Incredible. So now, let's talk a little bit about your exchange experiences, because you've done a couple of them.
Yep.
Your first one was in Germany.
That's right, yeah.
How on earth did you choose Germany as a destination?
So when I'd done my degree, it was a degree called Sustainable Energy Systems. Very close to electrical engineering with a special focus on power engineering and efficiency and renewable energies, right? So Germany, leading the world in renewable energy systems, right? So I was like, this is the place to go. So applied for it, got in, and went to a lot of interesting places like solar plants and wind farm plants, all this sort of stuff. Yeah, that was the initial push for me to actually do an exchange program.
Did you? Is this something you always knew? Like you always knew you kind of wanted to do this renewable sort of space, this energy space?
Yeah, so my parents actually live off grid, so they live in northern New South Wales, and
love it.
They run off solar, tank water, all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
And I'm like, this is kind of the key, right? Like this is better than an ugly coal power fired plant.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if one house can do it, then everyone can do it.
And I guess the thing is, like, knowing that background from you, like, Germany is the place to be, right? I mean, they're really world leaders when it comes to this sustainability and renewable energy space.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so that was exchange number one, and then where did you end up after that?
So when I'd done this program in Germany, it was over the Christmas time, and afterwards I'd done some travel. I went to Spain, and I just went from a minus 20, 30 degree climate to a Queensland winter, and I'm like, I love this place, this is the place to go. So it was in Spain, it was a place called San Sebastian, which is in the Basque region.
Oh wow, yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
Right on the beach, so like I said earlier, best place to live, one of the worst places to study. It was a really great place to study.
Yeah, epic. Fantastic. So one of the things that I thought was just amazing that you had to say up there was around the way we learn to work and how we approach our work. So you've got quite a unique perspective on that.
Sure. So Boeing, who I'm working for at the moment, we've been around for 100 years and we've followed this water flow kind of approach. And there's a lot of innovative companies coming up, and they're kind of starting to eat Boeing's lunch. So we're taking this, we call it a fail fast, learn fast approach. So if you follow a water flow approach, you have an engineer design something, it gets checked, it gets checked, it gets checked. And it's actually rather expensive to do that, because you might have an engineer check something and they spend hours on it, and if an engineer charges $200 an hour, it's really expensive. Whereas if you go and follow the fail fast, learn fast approach, you develop something that fails, you learn all the mistakes, you develop a second prototype, you have a few more mistakes. By the time you hit a third prototype, you may have developed something really unique and innovative within a year. If you follow the standard water flow approach, you may not have any mistakes at the end, but it's taking you 3 times longer to get there. And that's how innovative companies are starting to work, and agile companies. So instead of following this kind of V approach, we circle everything. Every time we develop something, we test it. And because of that, we're actually meeting all our milestones, and we're really hitting goals.
And it moves a lot faster, doesn't it?
So much faster. We're actually, the project we're working on, like I said before, it's developing a new communication system for the Defence Force. We are the only defence project in Australia that has actually ever been ahead of schedule.
That's incredible.
Right.
Incredible. And so tell me, so this approach of experimenting, measuring fast, and iterating, changing, adapting, learning, continuing. How important do you think that is in life in general?
Of course, it's important. I mean, you're learning in results a lot quicker. And I should point out that when companies first start doing this, it is more expensive up front with your prototyping hardware. But if you can get the technology out there faster and you're ahead of all the other companies,
feedback, right?
Right, and it's going to pay off in the end. It will pay off in the end, and I think that's what doing exchange programs do as well. You put yourself outside this comfort zone, and you learn a great deal and make mistakes straight off, but you're going to be ahead in the end.
And so let's talk about that. So how important has your exchange experience been in leading you to where you are in your career right now?
So, like I said before, I have 2 jobs now. I'm a consultant engineer. I wouldn't have that job if I didn't do an exchange, because I worked on developing generators for wind turbines. That's exactly what my consulting work is. And I started as a systems engineer at Boeing, and now I'm an electrical engineer because I did those exchange programs. So there's a direct correlation.
Awesome. And what's next for you?
Wow, good question.
What's next?
What's next? So, at Boeing at the moment, we're doing what we call a multi-release project. What that means is we're just about to deliver our first release, and then we're going to go back into research and do a second release and possibly a third release. So the best thing about this is we've finished with one part of the project, and now we've got all these new exciting parts of the project we're going to work on, which is almost unrelated. So it's exciting, right? It's really exciting to do this sort of work. So I guess at least for the next 2 years, our project will be running, and I'll be focusing on that.
One last question for you. So one of the things that a lot of people here in this room, the sort of student mobility, the education abroad, learning, global learning kind of people will say is that it's really hard to get students from like science, engineering kind of disciplines to go and undertake international study experiences. And there's probably lots of reasons for that. But why do you think students in the sort of STEM disciplines really need to have that international study experience?
Sure. So there's 2 reasons. Number one, it does put you outside your comfort zone, I guess.
Yeah.
That's great because we inject chaos into our company. We have these tables which are mobile, and every 2 weeks, 200 people on an open floor moving around, so we inject chaos, so we're used to it. The second one is we talk about gender diversity, we talk about culture diversity, which is really important, but education diversity is the key. If we have everyone from the same university, we're not going to move fast. If you get them from different education systems, you might have academic people, practical people, innovative people, taught from different professors, different learning strategies, you're going to succeed so much faster. So if you go on exchange, you're going to have a different education system, you're going to meet other people, and you're going to evolve faster. It is actually a hiring criteria that you're a good fit for the team at Boeing, and if you have done an exchange program, you can box straight off the bat.
It's incredible, isn't it? Because what you've said is like around being the diversification and having good diversity and being resilient, right? Being able to adapt and be resilient.
Adapt and overcome. Exactly. Right.
Yeah. And these I really believe these are the companies that are going to win, aren't they?
And they are.
Yeah, without a doubt. Because the more you push yourself, and the more a company as you say, you inject chaos. Isn't that an amazing phrase?
Yeah. Good words. I just made that up.
Oh, but the thing is, it's kind of true because stress response. When you push your body, when you push your mind, and your body experiences stress, you kind of break it a little bit, and it gets stronger. And companies are the same, right?
And those unrealistic milestones aren't so unrealistic when you're used to so much chaos, right?
Yeah.
It brings them down a notch.
Yeah, fascinating. Hey, Ezra, so good to talk to you today, and best of luck with your career. Thanks for chatting with us.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Good on you.